Well, good morning and welcome to the Lockdown Lowdown from Tuesday the 12th of May. It's nice to have you join with me this morning, and I do pray that the Lord will meet with us as we take our eyes off of self and focus on Him and His Word. Well, during this time of lockdown, of COVID-19 crisis, just about everything is shut. We're not allowed out. But even if we were, there would not be a lot to do. No restaurants are open, no cinemas, bowling alleys, skate parks, gyms, swimming pools, the list goes on and on. All entertainment venues are dark. Their doors are closed. Now, a particular type of attraction, one which, if you know me, you will know is very, very dear to my heart, is also very much out of bounds to the public. I'm talking about theme parks. All across the globe, kids and big kids are disappointed as theme park gates remain tightly locked. There are, however, signs of a new beginning starting to take place. Yesterday, I read of how Shanghai Disneyland in China reopened after being shut for 3 months. The gates opened and folks could flood in once more. But there were, however, some conditions put in place to make this possible. Attendance was capped at 1/3 of the normal 80,000 people. The visitors had to wear face masks. Capacity on rides was reduced to allow for social distancing, and body temperature checks were carried out at the entrance of the park. The president of Shanghai Disneyland told the press, "We hope today's reopening serves as a beacon of light across the globe, providing hope and inspiration to all." Now, I'm glad that the children of Shanghai can now enter into this happy place, safe in the knowledge that all the measures are in force to keep the virus out, to keep sickness at bay. But folks, with even the most stringent of precautions, it won't be totally fail-safe, will it? The virus, the sickness, may still find its way past the gates of Disney and infect its guests. Now this, I guess, is a risk that people will need to live with. But I know of a place where sickness will never enter, and indeed, the deadliest virus of sin will never sneak past its gates. The Bible, in the book of Revelation, tells of a place where believers will live with God forever, and John, who wrote this, speaks of how nothing evil can slip past its gates. Listen to what he says in Revelation 21:2. He writes, "I saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, 'Behold, the dwelling place of God is with man. He will dwell with them, and they will be his people, and God himself will be with them as their God. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and death shall be no more. Neither shall there be mourning, nor crying, nor pain any more, for the former things have passed away.'" In verse 24, John says that the nations and the kings of the earth will bring their glory into this place, and its gates will never be shut. And in verse 27 he says, "Nothing unclean will ever enter it, nor anyone who does what is detestable or false." In chapter 22, John says that there will be nothing accursed in there, and night will be no more. He's saying fear will be gone, darkness will be banished. Those who may enter are ones, he says, whose names are written in the Lamb's book of life, and who wash their robes. That means those clothed in the righteousness of Christ, those who have turned to Jesus and accepted his atoning death on the cross for sin. But John does continue. Verse 15 of chapter 22, he says, "Outside are the dogs and sorcerers, and the sexually immoral and murderers and idolaters and everyone who loves and practices falsehood. You know, Derek Thomas in his commentary makes this note. He says, the ugliness of the outside is contrasted with the beauty in the inside. Folks, think about it. The new creation, heaven, the new Jerusalem where the saints will dwell with God, can only be a wonderful, perfect place if the stain of sin, the virus that leads to eternal death, is kept on the outside. John MacArthur writes this about this incredible place, saying, Scripture promises that heaven will be a realm of perfect bliss. Tears, pain, sorrow and crying will have no place whatsoever in the new heaven and new earth. It is a place where God's people will dwell together with Him eternally, utterly free from all the effects of sin and evil. God is pictured, he says, as personally wiping away the tears from the eyes of the redeemed. Heaven is a realm where death is fully conquered. There is no sickness there, no hunger, no trouble and no tragedy, just absolute joy and blessings. This is how MacArthur closes. He says, it is frankly hard for our minds, which have never known anything but this sinful life and its calamities, to imagine. Folks, it may be hard to imagine a place so free from fear, from pain, from suffering, but that is exactly what God promises to those who give His Son Jesus their sin. So let's imagine the glories of heaven in our song today. I'll link it in the comments box. You may have heard it before. It's called I Can Only Imagine by Mercy Me.